Hello, everyone. It is Jenny Fern, and today I would like to share with you a spring garden vlog, a true spring garden vlog. This was this weekend, today actually, the 27th, a Saturday. It was a beautiful day, really nice and warm. A little bit dry, but beautiful day. And I got some tomato transplants from a coworker who had too many for his garden. And so I get to sneak in some tomatoes that I didn't even grow myself. The best kind. These are, I think, some sort of larger slicing heirloom. Okay, let me talk about this real quick. I transplanted some mint into the front yard because I want to add more diversity to the front yard garden. I'm also putting some weeds into a bucket with water. I think I asked a little bit ago if anybody besides David the Good did this kind of, I guess, garden supplement or this kind of fertilization where you rot a bunch of weeds down in a bucket of water. And I actually saw a different permaculture group of people who were using this method. So I thought, well, I'm just gonna do it because I don't have like a tank to bubble oxygen through the water. So I'm gonna do anaerobic. I really want to improve the fertility of my garden. That's one of my goals this year. So I am saving some urine and I am getting some anaerobic compost tea going. So back about these tomatoes. So I think that they're some sort of heirloom slicer, some sort of large tomato. I actually gave my coworker the deets about how to save tomato seeds. And so these are seeds that he had saved from a tomato that he grew last year. He got some extra starts from a neighbor himself and saved the seeds from that. So I cannot wait to see what fun tomatoes these bring. I'm shoving these tomato plants into my, I guess what I will call my brassica bed, where I have my brassicas currently going to seed. I'm waiting for those seeds to dry out a little bit so that I can save them and spread them all throughout the garden. And once that's done, then I'll clear them out a little bit and open the space up for other plants so that my tomatoes have room to grow. So, like here you can see I have a kale that is also going to flower here in this bed. And I had a collard that got quite a lot of it eaten off by, I think, a pill bug. And so it might pull through, but it is quite stunted currently. So I'm putting the last tomato, I had 3, putting this last tomato in the side wood chipped garden bed between a bunch of fava beans and kind of near an apple tree that I planted over here. And this one I'm wanting to go kind of crazy and wild. We will see how that goes. I much prefer to not have to be fiddly with any plants. So my main method of planting tomatoes this year is in the fall, just before the last frost, I picked a ton of the green cherry tomatoes that were left on the plants. And I put them in a bag and I left them in the house for maybe 1 or 2 weeks, and then I went into the front yard and just dug holes and filled them with cherry tomatoes. So I'm hoping we'll see some cherry tomatoes popping up all over the place, and I won't have to plant anything and be really fiddly about things. So here I am digging up some chives, or whatever these are. I think they're chives. They might be like garlic chives or something, not exactly chives, but I also transplanted those into the front garden beds. I didn't show any of that because I'm still very self-conscious about filming in my front yard. I've been drying some onion greens. I've had to harvest some of my onions because they've started to go to flower, or like they send up the little stalk that's going to be the onion flower. So I've been picking them at that moment. So I have a few of them. I'm going to leave in a few to go to seed, and hopefully, this is my idea for pretty much everything in the garden. Hopefully they do go to seed, and then I can just sprinkle the seeds all over the front yard, and then I just have onions that come up whenever they want. I am going to have to get another jar. These dried onions are so dense. That was only like 2 onions. So we'll see. So here, this is a white onion. You can see the bulb, the like onion bulb is pretty small. I don't know what I'm doing. This is the first time I've ever grown onions, and I grew them from 2 bags of onion starts. What are they called? I forget what they call them, but I grew them from a bag from the hardware store that I just bought on a whim because they were super cheap. And I was like, wow, I could grow like, I don't know, 100 onions or something. Some ridiculous amount of onions. Maybe it was like 50 onions. And I planted them in, I don't know, October, sometime in fall, or early winter. So here I have had some mint drying, and so I'm kind of trying to catch up on it because I harvested a lot of mint recently, and so I want to catch up on all of the old dry mint that I have and put it into my little tea mix that I have here. The tea mix is increasingly mint. It used to have like mint and lavender. I could put a little bit of lavender in there now. And then orange rind, stuff like that. So here's my front yard. There was a huge like billowing cloud of mushrooms that's popped up. So there's potatoes, canna lily, there's some daikons, some legumes. I'm going way too fast, way too zippy, way too paranoid that people are going to see me with a camera in my front yard. Onions, rosebush, onions. Here's a perennial, I think it's a tree collard or a tree kale that is going to flower, and it's going to have so many seeds, and the seeds are going to go everywhere. I'm so excited. Here's some fava beans, my big giant artichoke, my sweet alyssum. This I am pretty sure is a tree mallow. For the longest time, I did not know what it was. It's getting huge now, and I'm pretty sure it's a tree mallow. Here are some more potatoes. They are so cute. They are popping up everywhere. Here is that apricot seedling, onions, red mustard, more fava beans that I have to step over now. Isn't that dramatic? Onions, roses, I don't know, a whole bunch of things. And that's my rose bush again. Here you can see some of the chives that I planted in. Here you can see an apple tree. I planted the apple tree after I planted the potatoes, but I forgot where I put the potatoes. And so there are the potatoes. Here are some grapefruit seeds that germinated. I check on them every couple of weeks. They're just like in a moist paper towel. These are from my parents' grapefruit. And I am so excited for these. So I'll just have to keep in my mind for the future that I planted my parents' grapefruits in these red cups that those tomatoes, that my coworker put the tomatoes in. So this is what I'm building out as my Mediterranean guild. So I have a olive tree grown from a cutting, and then I have the lavender cuttings plugged in. So now I have cardoon. I have a cardoon seedling that I am putting in right next, well, not right next to the tree. I realize I think cardoon gets like as large as the artichokes, and the artichokes are massive. And I don't want to shade out this baby tree if it takes a really long time to grow. So I put it kind of farther away. And yes, we will see. So now you can kind of see, usually this area in winter is very shady, but in the afternoon in summer, it's incredibly sunny. So you can kind of see that here. There's my dog. Isn't she so cute? And I did a bunch more recently, but this is all that I have for today. Thank you, as always, for watching.